Greetings, all. 'Tis I, J. Rockazulu, also known as Jaren Fun in the real world, born in Kansas City, where I live, and was awakened to the idea of the mystical realm, starting with the texts of Zen. And recently I went to China and synchronized with the contemporary art of the movie Arrival. Our current culture, moving to the stars, our science, our gnosis, and the ley lines connecting the deeper knowledge of our sacred texts towards inner technology, which will allow us a wholly new perspective of consciousness, from a very limited one to a greater one. So if any psychiatrists are watching right now, no, I am not hallucinating. That's all you need to know. Are there voices in my head? Thought is in my head. There, gotcha. So, since I'm just a normal person who has thought and no hallucinations, what I experience is what we all experience, called imagination. And when we commune with these entities, we're just connecting our imagination to the very real possibility that they're doing the same thing within their starships, within what they have already shared with us in their art and technology. And so I was entered into this field by visiting several events by Mr. Daryl Anka, who channels Sasani, are a type of, well, they're basically us from the future in a parallel reality, because those exist. And what I learned was that we all create reality within this consensus reality, mostly known as the objective reality. Wherein I contacted Sage Sani. That later evolved into Sage of my higher self. Has yet to be in the context of a future creation. So that means my higher self is basically a type of ethereal imagining that is very real. And then if I take it further, it's less probable that this reality will manifest because it is on a timeline of the highest nature, 12 density. And I'm channeling from 5th to 6th, you see. So I'm channeling down from 12th density to a consciousness that has a probability of being perfectly real. So this entity always says, though, it is now, it is real, trust the experience, because if you don't, then, yeah, it won't manifest as I. So this is the type of energy that is coming through. I saw this entity as me, as a child with blue skin and black hair. In the Sasani lore, various channelers, they speak of the hybrid races, the final one being the Anu Het, which would be the completion of all races to a singular hybrid. Would be the ultimate form of diversity and complexity in a singularity of brilliance. So this is how the channeling has evolved. It goes alongside every other channeling. It is just more challenging, will be likely, from a human perspective. Not from their perspective, but extremely, very challenging to grasp unless you read it like you would read a Zen textbook, a koan. Unless you listen to it like you would listen to a koan. Because there are similarities within my life through the lives of Far East. And fairly soon I'll be able to connect with the North and the South regions of the Earth. My world travels to expand this channeling out to make more and more sense as they channel the universal light language, which is tonal vibration within an ancient type of Lemurian verbiage, but it combines all of our language together because we need one universal mutual understanding, which is the idea of the Enzo. So this is all my perspective, of course. Understanding stage is of my perspective too. Connecting to our consensus reality is very challenging when you're coming from a 12 density upper octave dimension. Because when you speak one word, the next day that word could flip on its head. You might have to delete some stuff and re-edit. But at this point, we have determined keep it all down one line at this point in time. You understand. You can keep it all down one line. Just a few weeks ago, that wasn't possible because the meaning didn't evolve itself to that point. Because the idea of a misalignment is not a reality for someone who understands that there will always be a perfection to every single singularity that happens within enlightenment, which is you already chose the correct way of living. It means you're not going to harm anyone, intend to harm anyone. Well, enlightenment. Get on it, psychiatrist. Get on it. Where is that in your textbook? I want that as my label. I don't know about these other terms that you're labeling us with. So, I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad we can meet as one entity in the multiplicity, as a singular higher self communing with infinite bliss and love and light and divine sacred knowledge. Our current science, future science, and the changing of our past to fit the context of our now. That we're not barbaric. We are not violent. We're not fools. We are infinite intelligence. Every single one of us, as a reflection therein, thereof, create our reality from the highest point eternally. So let's do it. Thanks for coming by. Smash that subscribe button. Share it. And like it. Because it could mean everything.